Here we can see three brilliant engineers wiring up Y plans and S plans. What we often see is this rubbish that installers use some toy town junction box patches. They put any old wires in any old place, and what a surprise, it doesn't work or it's out of control. You can see blue wires being joined to brown or yellow or earth carrying voltage, a complete mess. And we see this all the time on YouTube, and installers, or let's say experts, don't pick it up. Before we can begin putting in all the zones and the controls, etc., we have to actually make the live neutral and earth first. And as you see, we have to do a short circuit and polarity test there to make sure that the 3-amp fuse in the plug or spur is correct and we have the right voltage. And the important one here is earth to neutral 0, not 5, not 10, 0. And obviously earth to earth betterly be 0, because as soon as you switch anything on, it will just blow up in bits. But this has to be done on every junction box, every wiring center. Always do this test to make sure it is correct, because otherwise, as I've said in many videos, if you have 5 volts on the blue to earth, your zone valve, motorized valve, may just only go to halfway, and you'll blame the valve. Most people aren't aware that there is actually a sequence of wiring, and as you see, it's either clockwise or anti-clockwise. And we do this so we don't get the wire in the way of another wire. So whichever way you go, it doesn't matter. The problem lies if you, for example, on the top put the boiler programmer in or the pump in or whatever the valve in, sooner or later it's going to get in the way of the next wire that you're trying to put in. I wired this up just to point out one thing which is very, very important. Can you see that all of the plastic flex going into the terminal block is right up to it? You can't see any metal at all. And this is absolutely crucial, not just on this wiring center, but on junction boxes as well. Please subscribe to our channel, where I've got lots of videos, not just for installers, but for homeowners. If you have any questions on central heating, have a look at my videos. I've got more to follow. Each month I do at least 1 or 2 on a subject where I get lots of people emailing me or leave me a comment down below, which you could always do. I always reply, and I'll put it into the list of videos to be done. So thanks for watching the video, and subscribe and take care. If every breakdown engineer, electrician, whoever has anything to do with controls, I would strongly suggest you buy 2 of these. They're only between £20–25, not a vast fortune for accuracy. But the thing is, you've always got one in your toolbox. Don't buy 1s, buy 2s or 3s. Invest in this, because sooner or later, probably sooner, you're going to need to replace that spaghetti junction mess and then start again. And this is the wiring center that I would highly recommend. Just use this and nothing else. Thanks for stopping on our channel, which is dedicated to central heating. And as you can see, I've been doing this a long time. The most popular fault that heating engineers and breakdown engineers find is the customer says, I've got hot water, but I haven't got central heating. And quite often it's this diverter valve, as we can see here, or a zone valve. We've got a demand, the boiler's fired up and the pump is running, but the valve here is stuck in the hot water mode. When you try and push it, it won't go. And here's the typical way of doing it, and I'll show you what happens. There's a very, very strong spring which needs a good motor, so we have to push it right to the end, lift it up, and it now gets hooked in the open position so the water can go through. And remember, these valves have an arrow, so make sure that that's in the right place when you come to replace it. Obviously here it's in the right way, but just remember they are directional. So don't replace the motor. Honeywell Residio use blue wires, so no one should be replacing these valves with orange wires because they're for a different manufacturer and they're not as strong as these ones. But we don't do this job at all. So we don't change the motor, we don't change the head, we change the whole valve. Why? Because they rust. There's a surprise. After 6 years of working, they get worn out. Like any machine that moves, eventually the sell-by date will arrive. So we just drain down, flush the system, top up with F2 silencer, and the job is complete. But to get you out of trouble, simply move the valve across slowly, hook it up, and then you'll at least have central heating on a manual basis. I hope you found this video clip of interest, and take care.